one of the first two to fly into space successfully. However, Yuri Gagarin, a famous Russian astronaut, died in a mysterious plane crash. Discover the mysterious death of astronaut Gagarin. Beginning in early March 1968, Gagarin raced toward the Praktos, starting to fly alone. As planned, from March 13 to May 22, he will fly on the MiG-15 training fighter in 18 times, for a total of more than 7 hours. March 27, Gagarin will fly twice, every 39 minutes. At 9:15 a.m., he and Gagarin undertook pre-flight preparation work, mostly done by Zichtin, and signed by Gagarin in his daily flight journal, when he agreed. Flight preparation is carried out in accordance with current technical requirements. They received a technical report of takeoff, then conducted a thorough examination of the aircraft, and signed the flight preparation book. Then Gagarin sat in the cockpit in front of Gagarin, who was sitting behind him. 10 hours 19 minutes, the aircraft took off into the sky. The plane is getting higher and higher, eventually flying in the air at the second cloud. At 10:30 a.m. Gagarin reported to the command post about the work situation in the air, asking permission to be glided back 320 degrees. Gagarin continued to steer the plane in a steady manner, preparing to loop from 70 degrees to 320 degrees down. The plane was down the right-hand floor, the plane's angle was 70 to 90 degrees, and the plane seemed to be down vertically. The ground was only 250 to 300 meters away, with only 2 seconds remaining. The two pilots remained calm, not confused. They worked closely together, trying to get the plane out of the vertical dive, but without success. It was 10 hours 31 minutes, radio information was lost 1 minute and the accident happened. About the cause of this accident, then the government has set up a specialized committee to investigate. After the accident, the scene where the plane crashed immediately was blocked by the related authority. The staff held a survey, collected all the parts and debris of the aircraft to conduct research. They also set up a scientific and technical expertise group. In the event of an accident, the government and industry are concerned. At first people were so amazed, Gagarin drove the plane to crash. Then it is difficult to understand. How can that be? A good pilot like that? In line with the investigation process, all findings were given: investigation of the organization, pilot training, flight safety and flight preparation, demonstrating that all were conducted in strict compliance with the requirements. Investigating the accuracy and reliability of technical equipment and control operations concluded that the equipment on the aircraft was not damaged, no problems found while flying. The plane did not catch fire, nor did it explode. Firefighting system on unused aircraft. The wiring on the plane is smooth, the oxygen system on the plane is perfect, no damage. The aircraft engine is still working well until it hits the ground. Aircraft crashed when falling to the ground, colliding with the ground. No trace of old components is detected. The MiG-15 training fighter is a superior aircraft. Aerospace equipment is not a problem. Then what is the cause? Is there anyone who intends to harm? Medical experts analyzed Gagarin's tape recordings just minutes before the accident, repeatedly listening to Gagarin's words, clarified the posture when the plane hit the ground. Piloting the body of the pilot in several ways, Gagarin, before the crash, was not poisoned, not hypnotized or unusual. 1 minute before his death, he was in a perfectly normal state. But why did not he push the button off the plane? According to the calculations, he died at 10:31 a.m., when the plane fell to the ground. It is hoped the investigation committee will find the cause. But in an urgent report after the investigation, that does not seem to be the case. Gagarin's crash on March 27, 1968 is still a mystery. But in fact, the commission has found the cause. Gagarin in the final moments, was unable to control the plane from the dive, resulting in the plane crash. But at that time, to protect Gagarin's honor, it was impossible to explain the cause. Therefore, the cause of the plane crash of Gagarin was not disclosed. However, the Discovery.com website and the real story behind Yuri Gagarin's death offers a completely different story. The article was based on information provided by astronaut Alexei Leonov, the first person to make an aerial walk, told Russia Today after Leonov had access to investigative reports. Accordingly, on the day of the accident, Gagarin's flight was not the only activity in the sky. One Su-15 also flew tests, though it was planned to fly higher than Gagarin's MiG. At that time, Leonov was training parachuting. He also said that the weather was bad with rain and low clouds made the view limited. While Leonov was waiting for the official announcement of the cancellation of the parachute jump from his superiors, he heard two loud explosions. The first sound of a plane breaks the sound wall and the second is an accident. A moment of silence, Leonov knows something has happened. Leonov and German Titov, a colleague of Gagarin, who made the second space flight, then joined the accident investigation committee. Leonov talked to witnesses and learned that the Su-15 had flown out of the clouds with a burning fire at its tail, a clear sign that the rear-mounted aircraft was operational. But eyewitnesses said the plane was flying very low compared to the expected 33,000 feet. It was seen flying so close to the altitude that Gagarin was flying. The report, published by Leonov, indicates that the Su-15 flew an illegal flight near Gagarin's MiG-15. The report also confirmed what Leonov had heard about two blasts in about 2 seconds. The Su-15 is bigger than the MiG-15 and has the power to suck the MiG-15 into its flight path if the two are too close together. Leonov's memory of the explosion 2 seconds apart suggested that maybe two planes were about 30 feet apart. That's enough for the MiG-15 to shake and fall. New material in the report shows that it appears Gagarin's aircraft crashed at 470 km/h and only 55 seconds from fall to ground. This information has been incorporated into the computer and simulated the falling line of the aircraft. It points out that the only possible explanation for the accident was that the Su-15 flew too close to Gagarin's MiG. Pressure from the larger aircraft flipped the smaller plane and made it dive spiral toward the ground. It is hoped the investigation committee will find the cause. But in an urgent report after the investigation, that does not seem to be the case. Gagarin's crash on March 27, 1968 is still a mystery. Gagarin's death has become history.